One of the things that I admire about the person that's going to come after me, Matthew Tipton, is not that he went to Notre Dame. That's definitely not it. But Matthew Tipton is a recipient of the Larry Keith Loyalty Fund. Larry Keith, for you who may remember him, was an outstanding man. He was a man of men. He was a mentor to me when I did the MED program back in 1986. He carried me through anatomy, many late night sessions of dissection with Larry Keith. And after that, after I went out and did residency program, he brought me back to recruit for the UNC School at Brown when I was up there as faculty. When I was at the other shade of blue down the street, he brought me back. I was surprised, Dean Roper, but he did. He never forgot me, and he was a great man. And Matthew Tipton embodies many of the characteristics that Mr. Larry Keith had. And that's what I'm proud about, not the Notre Dame. He was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. He is a graduate of the university, I already said. He has a Bachelor of Science and a Science pre-professional focus. From there, he attended Hampton University, where he received a Master's in Science with a focus in medical science. He has been active as a student leader throughout college and in medical school, including was one of the co-presidents of the Student National Medical Association chapter here. He has been recognized for his kindness and commitment to service of those in most need, as he was awarded the Heinzer Pupil Award and the Whitehead Medical Society and inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. How would I describe Matt? I would describe Matt as many of our Carolina students are, and that's selfless. But interesting, the word selfless. When we talk about selfless people, what are selfless people? Selfless people are people that not necessarily think less of themselves, but actually think more about other people. That's Matt Tipton, and you're going to hear it when he speaks to you coming right now. Come on up, Matt.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Bright. I teared up a little bit. When Dr. Bashford talks about constructing our class, the class of 2015, and talks about constructing any other class for that matter, he always says, it's not about the grades, it's not about the MCAT. We want to construct a class full of nice people. That's what Dr. Bashford always says. And from getting to know my classmates for the last 4 years and getting to know all the classes below us, I can definitely attest to the fact that Dr. Bashford and company have succeeded in that mission. I think that I fit in pretty well here at UNC. I think I fall into that nice person category as well. But as many of you may or may not know, my upbringing and the environment that grew me wasn't very nice or plush at all. I don't know how many of you all know about a small town called Gary, Indiana, a town that thrived in the 1950s and 60s from the steel industry, most known as the birthplace of entertainer Michael Jackson and the song from the play The Music Man. More recently, however, my hometown, which we affectionately call GI, should probably be renamed Ghetto, Indiana, as the town is a dilapidated relic of what it once was. When I grew up there, all I saw was abandoned buildings, drug addicts and dealers, and a big sign off the highway that read, "Caution, you are entering Gary, Indiana, the murder capital of the United States." One of my favorite poets described the town and its people. And he quotes, "Misguided, miseducated, we barely be graduating, and our lack of skills leads to some deadly infatuations in the ghetto, the barrio, the hood, the slums. Government funds fill my city up with drugs and guns, and I can't go for being broke, so I'ma go on the run. Mama can't stand the way I live, but can't give up on her son." These words were from my older brother, who grew up in the same household with me, but was somehow forced into a life of crime, and survival because of the neighborhood we grew up in. Fortunately for him, he found his true calling and was able to cultivate his God-given gifts into a major recording record deal. However, for many of the people in my community, they're not as fortunate. We have dreams of being the great entertainers that we see on television, but we can't fathom anything else. Thus, many of us are forced into dead-end jobs and or illegal means of obtaining wealth. In this place, my hometown, it's hardly possible for anyone to dream of graduating from a four-year college and eventually going to medical school and becoming a doctor. It seems as if we don't have the permission to dream. I was fortunate enough to have good parents and a village of people surrounding me and praying for me and constantly supporting me emotionally and financially. Thank God for these people in my life, guiding me, picking me up when I made mistakes, and rewarding me for the few things that I did do right. These people had me addicted to success and made certain that I did not choose the route that is unfortunately chosen by many of the young men in my hometown. It is the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is alive and well in my consciousness because of the people who took time out to pour into me and invest in my dreams. And I plan to use this law, the law of reciprocity, as a resident and throughout my professional career. The law means to give and take mutually, to return in kind or even in a higher kind or degree. The Loyalty Fund executes this law flawlessly, and my classmates and I have been the beneficiaries. You all have given generously and selflessly to a degree that will be difficult to reciprocate. However, I know from the group of people that I've been blessed to work with, my classmates, the class of 2015 and the classes below us, that I'm sure that we'll be up to meeting the challenge of reciprocating that. Me personally, I plan a future where I'm in the community similar to where I grew up, practicing the law of reciprocity, and most importantly, giving some young ghetto child the permission to dream. Just as my friends, family, supporters, and the Loyalty Fund, and most specifically the family of Mr. Larry Keith, have done for me. Lastly, I want to leave my classmates with this charge. As you go out to conquer great obstacles and make great discoveries in your careers, please don't forget to empathetically and humbly approach each patient interaction. Try to envision yourselves in the condition which many of our patients right here in North Carolina and the rest of America are forced to live in and deal with every day that doesn't afford them the opportunity to take the best care of their bodies. A wise man and a great mentor once told me, your patients don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Thank you, Mr. Larry Keith and family, and thank you to the Loyalty Fund. Thank you everyone here for giving us all the permission to dream. Thank you.